Thank you for watching the video. Through the story, I invite you to a place of peace and gentle sleep. Please relax and take your time to drift off into a restful slumber.
Omen. On a quiet night illuminated by the moonlight, a young ninja named Kagemura was hiding within the stillness of the mountain village. After rigorous training, he had acquired remarkable skills, particularly in blending into the darkness and deceiving the eyes of his enemies. Trusted by the villagers, Kagemura dedicated himself daily to protecting them. With a sense of pride as a ninja, he focused his gaze into the night. At that moment, he glanced up at the sky and saw a shooting star streak across the night. Captivated by its fleeting beauty, Kagemura felt his heart stir. In the enchanting glow of the shooting star, he made a wish. Please, may the people of the village remain safe. However, his peaceful moment was short-lived. Suddenly, he spotted black smoke rising from the direction of the village, causing his heart to race. Bandits were attacking, and chaos engulfed the village. Without hesitation, Kagemura sprang into action and rushed toward the village. Upon reaching the entrance, he was taken aback by the sight before him. Houses engulfed in flames, villagers screaming in terror, and bandits mercilessly assaulting them. Deep within, he felt something ignite. He believed in his strength and steeled himself to fight in order to protect his comrades and the villagers. Using the surrounding trees to his advantage, Kagemura stealthily approached the enemies from behind, taking them down one by one without a sound. His movements were as light as the wind, unnoticed by anyone. However, the number of enemies was greater than he had anticipated, and fatigue began to set in. Then, once again, he saw a shooting star streak across the night sky. In that moment, he found his courage renewed. I won't lose. I will overcome any hardship to protect the village. Kagemura charged toward the village center, facing off against the leader of the bandits. An intense battle unfolded, with Kagemura employing all his skills to defeat the enemies one after another. The sound of clashing swords, the cries of the foes, and the roaring flames all surrounded him, yet his heart remained calm. He was determined to fulfill his mission. As the battle raged on, Kagemura's eyes met the terrified faces of the villagers. He realized just how vital he was to this village. He recalled his wish made to the shooting star, I want to protect the villagers. In Kagemura's heart, the shooting star transformed from mere light into a symbol of hope. Believing in that light, he summoned even greater strength. All of his efforts and friendships had culminated in this very moment. As the battle came to a close, Kagemura emerged victorious. However, a profound sorrow lingered within him for the villagers who had been hurt and lost their homes. That night, Kagemura looked up at the sky once more. Countless shooting stars twinkled above. He felt as if that light was trying to convey something to him. The shooting stars might symbolize hope. They strengthen our bonds and illuminate the path to the future. Determined, Kagemura resolved to devote himself fully to the village's reconstruction. On that night of shooting stars, he discovered a new purpose: struggle. Although Kagemura had saved the village, a heavy weight remained in his heart. The images of the homes lost and the wounded villagers were burned into his memory. However, instead of succumbing to sadness, Kagemura resolved to devote himself fully to the village's reconstruction. Every morning, he began his work alongside the villagers. They gathered tiles and timber, repaired damaged homes, and cultivated the fields to secure food. Gradually, the villagers began to regain their spirits as they saw Kagemura's determination. A light of hope flickered within them, nurtured by Kagemura's courage, fostering a desire for renewal. One day, Kagemura watched the villagers gather in the town square. Their faces, once marked by fear and anxiety, were now illuminated by smiles. Seeing this brought warmth to Kagemura's heart. He remembered the brilliance of the shooting stars and felt as if he were part of that light. However, their peaceful days did not last long. Disturbing rumors began to circulate from outside the village. Nearby villages were also experiencing a surge in attacks by bandits. A sense of urgency surged within Kagemura once more. We must help the other villages as well. He conveyed this thought to his companions, who wholeheartedly agreed and decided to act together. Among his allies were young villagers who admired Kagemura, moved by his resolve to rise up. Kagemura began devising a plan with his new companions to confront the bandits. Drawing on his previous experiences, he prepared meticulously. Remembering the mission he had vowed under the light of the shooting stars, he felt a renewed determination to protect the other villages. That night, Kagemura and his allies located the enemy's stronghold. Under the moonlight, they quietly approached the forest. Kagemura calmly instructed his companions, tension filling the air as they moved forward with their operation. In his heart, there was a glimmer of hope, like the light of the shooting stars. As the battle began, Kagemura swiftly plunged into the midst of the enemies. His movements were as fast as the wind, leaving the foes no time to notice his presence. The sounds of clashing swords, the enemies' cries, and the chaos of battle unfolded in the darkness, but Kagemura's mind remained clear. Before him, enemies fell one after another. Among them, one adversary caught his eye. It was the leader of the bandits. The leader seemed to anticipate Kagemura's movements, launching a calculated attack. Kagemura almost found himself in a moment of vulnerability, yet the light of the shooting stars felt as if it were protecting him, granting him strength. I cannot afford to lose in this moment. With unwavering resolve, Kagemura evaded the enemy's attack and launched a counteroffensive. The blade of his sword glimmered in the moonlight as it sliced through the air. Amidst the battle, he reaffirmed his mission. After this fight, I will definitely save the village. As the fierce combat continued, a new determination settled in Kagemura's heart. He believed he was a beacon of hope, like a shooting star. By fighting alongside his companions, he felt his strength grow. Eventually, after vanquishing the enemy leader, the battle began to subside. Celebrating their victory with his comrades, Kagemura couldn't shake the images of the villagers wounded in battle from his mind. He felt there was still more to be done to protect them. That night, Kagemura looked up at the sky once again. Countless shooting stars sparkled, offering him hope. As he gazed at that light, he believed in his own strength and looked ahead to the future that awaited him. The meaning of the shooting star. After saving the village, Kagemura continued his reconstruction efforts alongside his companions. Yet, unresolved feelings still swirled within him. While he held onto the shining hope of the shooting stars, a deep sadness lingered in his heart. The losses the villagers had endured, as well as his own past, cast shadows over his spirit. One day, Kagemura noticed villagers gathered in the town square. They were working together to build new homes, smiling and exchanging warm glances. Seeing this scene reminded Kagemura that he, too, was a part of their community. "Our village will surely be reborn," Kagemura declared to the villagers. "I will protect all of you. Together, let's build our future." Encouraged by his words, the villagers united their efforts even further. As Kagemura lent a helping hand, he felt the weight in his heart gradually lighten with each moment spent alongside them. One night, looking up at the light of the shooting stars, Kagemura wished for the villagers' safety. The shooting stars are symbols of hope. They strengthen our bonds and illuminate the path to the future. He trusted in that light and resolved to walk the path ahead. A few days later, Kagemura decided to embark on a journey with his new companions to help other villages. He vowed to use his experiences to protect the weaker communities, aspiring to become a beacon of hope like the shooting stars. The journey presented Kagemura with new trials. He and his companions visited various villages, addressing the unique challenges each faced. Utilizing his ninja skills, he employed wisdom, negotiation, and strategy to assist the villagers. In one village, repeated attacks by bandits had instilled fear among the inhabitants. Kagemura, alongside his comrades, devised a plan to defend the village. They lay in wait as the bandits approached at night, successfully launching a counterattack. The villagers expressed their gratitude to Kagemura, hailing him as a hero. In that moment, Kagemura felt profoundly that he was a part of the light of the shooting stars. His presence brought hope to the villagers. He resolved to continue his journey with his companions, determined to help many more people in various villages. However, deep down, Kagemura longed to one day acquire the strength to protect the villagers as fiercely as the shooting stars did. The meaning of the light of the shooting stars was deeply rooted in his heart. During his travels, Kagemura encountered various people and learned their stories, allowing him to grow further. He etched his beliefs into his heart, vowing to remain a source of hope, shining like the light of the shooting stars. The approaching shadow. Kagemura's journey was progressing smoothly, but a sense of crisis constantly loomed in his heart. As he defeated bandits and helped villagers wherever he went, the presence of a larger enemy began to flicker in his mind. Kagemura felt he needed to strengthen his abilities to save even more people. One evening, while sitting around a fire with his companions in the village square, a villager rushed toward Kagemura, breathless. He brought urgent news. Bandits had begun attacking a nearby village. They might be targeting the village we helped. Hearing this, Kagemura's heart raced with tension. Let's set off immediately. Kagemura instructed his companions as they hurriedly prepared to leave. Remembering the light of the shooting stars, they raced through the darkness under the moonlight, believing in the glimmer of hope within them. A few hours later, they arrived at the village under attack. The scene was devastating. Houses were burned, and the villagers huddled together in fear. Kagemura's heart tightened at the sight. We will definitely save them. He and his companions devised a plan to protect the village. Under the moonlight, they quietly observed the enemy's movements. Kagemura felt a shining resolve within him, like that of a shooting star. We will break their threat. Now is the time to show our strength. Kagemura directed his companions and prepared for battle. His movements were calm and swift, instilling courage in his comrades. Soon, the enemy charged into the village. At that moment, Kagemura fixed his sharp gaze on the invaders and signaled to his friends. The battle began. Go! Kagemura's voice rang out, and his companions rushed toward the enemy all at once. With his sword in hand, Kagemura dove into the fray like a shooting star. His movements were quick, dancing around the enemy, and he fought with the grace of a meteor streaking across the night sky. The enemy leader was a large figure, exuding an overwhelming presence. Kagemura locked eyes with him, determined to confront this foe. The leader noticed Kagemura and smiled mockingly. How foolish for a little ninja like you to challenge me. Unfazed by the taunt, Kagemura felt the light of the shooting stars within him as he faced the leader. The fool is you. I fight to protect this village. With those words, Kagemura launched an immediate attack. The battle between them intensified. Kagemura's sword clashed fiercely with the leader's blade, the sounds echoing through the night sky. Kagemura carefully read the leader's movements, dodging attacks and swiftly countering. With the speed of a shooting star, Kagemura gradually pushed the leader back. Around them, his comrades fought valiantly, repelling enemies in their struggle to reclaim the village. Kagemura drew strength from the presence of his friends. I cannot afford to lose if it means protecting them. He transformed that thought into power, striking back with renewed vigor. Finally, Kagemura landed a decisive blow on the enemy leader. The leader's expression turned to shock as he finally fell to the ground. In that moment, the cheers of the villagers rang out. Kagemura celebrated the victory with his companions, but a lingering sense of longing remained in his heart. He reaffirmed the importance of holding on to hope, just like the light of the shooting stars. As the shooting stars illuminated the night sky, Kagemura yearned to be a beacon of hope for others. A new light. Kagemura and his companions successfully repelled the bandits who attacked the village and began working together with the villagers to rebuild. Thanks to their efforts, the burned homes gradually started to recover, and a sense of hope seemed to shine through. Seeing the smiles of the villagers warmed Kagemura's heart. The light of the shooting stars resided within him. The villagers began calling Kagemura a hero, and each time they expressed their gratitude, he felt a sense of confusion. To him, what he had done was simply what anyone would do. "I just wanted to protect everyone. I'm no hero, it's not something so grand," he thought to himself. As the rebuilding efforts continued, one evening, Kagemura decided to climb a small hill on the outskirts of the village to gaze at the starry sky. Under the moonlight, the countless shining stars held a special meaning for him. Every time a shooting star streaked across the sky, he felt as though he was reminded of something important. "Please continue to grant me the strength to protect the village," he prayed quietly. At that moment, a particularly bright shooting star crossed in front of him. "That star's light will guide me," Kagemura felt strongly in his heart. With a renewed determination, he decided to return to the village. The next day, Kagemura held a discussion with the villagers. Based on his experiences, he proposed a plan to strengthen the village. "We need to cooperate with other villages and strengthen our alliances." The villagers agreed with his proposal, listening intently. Under Kagemura's leadership, the villagers began to establish connections with neighboring villages. By collaborating and sharing information, stronger bonds began to form. Watching this unfold, Kagemura felt that his actions were gradually taking shape. However, deep within Kagemura, a sense of unease still lingered. Although he believed in the light of the shooting stars, he could not forget the possibility that bandits might attack again. "I must always be prepared for what might happen next." This thought propelled Kagemura further. He decided to begin training with his companions. They practiced combat skills and engaged in various exercises to strengthen their teamwork. Throughout this process, Kagemura envisioned the light of the shooting stars, striving for further growth. Inspired by him, his companions committed themselves to rigorous training alongside him. Months later, Kagemura and his friends had become remarkably strong. Their bonds had deepened, creating trust born from mutual support. Watching their growth, Kagemura gradually began to feel his own development as well. "We have power. Let's continue to fight to protect the village." One day, Kagemura gathered his companions in the village square to devise a new strategy for protecting the village. "From now on, let's collaborate with other villages to enhance our security. By solidifying our defenses, we can confront anything that comes our way." His words resonated with his companions as they nodded in agreement. Afterward, Kagemura decided to visit the surrounding villages to recruit new allies. His heart was filled with the hope that continued to burn brightly like a shooting star. He spoke passionately to connect with people. Kagemura's enthusiasm resonated with those around him, and gradually, more companions joined him. A diverse group of people began to gather around Kagemura, united by a common purpose. Each person, with their unique background, resonated with Kagemura's ideals and solidified their determination to fight together. Observing this scene, Kagemura felt as if the light of the shooting stars was forming one large constellation. Upon returning to the village, Kagemura and his newly added companions began working to further strengthen the village's defenses. They focused their efforts on establishing watchtowers around the village and uncovering hidden paths. Kagemura believed that their daily efforts would serve as a crucial step in protecting the future of the villagers. Alongside his companions, Kagemura continued to train diligently. The light of hope flowed within him like a shooting star. Our light will illuminate someone's path. Kagemura's resolve was unwavering, and his determination began to spread to those around him. As the days went by, Kagemura and his companions' collaboration grew stronger, and the villagers began to notice the changes. As long as Kagemura is here, our village is safe. Gaining the villagers' trust, Kagemura reaffirmed his mission. One evening, Kagemura climbed the hill once more to gaze at the stars. As shooting stars streaked across the sky, his heart filled with hope. "The light of these stars will guide me," he whispered to himself, feeling a tangible sense of hope for the future. "From now on, I will continue to hold on to hope like a shooting star."